Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. It's actually evening over here in Lagos, so I know you could be viewing from any other part of the world. So I'm greeting you all. Thank you for joining. So I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to join and then we can get started. ASAP. So this is a session to discuss major factors to consider before buying properties in Lagos, be it land, be it house, be it for investment, be it to buy and hold, whatever your reason for buying. The factors I'm going to be discussing with you are really important that you consider them before investing in properties in Lagos. Once again, if you are joining my broadcast for the first time, my name is Yakub Anna, and this is Real Estate Tips with Anna. So today I'll be sharing with you factors to consider before buying properties in Lagos. And please, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, kindly do so because I update my channel regularly with content and you do not want to miss out on this amazing content, kindly hit on the subscribe button to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of the things that I share here. So I'll just get started right away. So when it comes to real estate properties in Lagos, really a lot of people are falling victims to different circumstances and to a large extent, I would say this as a result of lack of information, sufficient information, before they ventured into um, investment with their hard-earned money. A lot of people have lost money as a result of wrong investment choices. So when you have Venturana Realty in your connect, you really would likely not be making their mistakes when it comes to real estate investment. So at Venturana, our primary goal is to see you make wise investment decisions with regards to real estate investment, specifically in Lagos State, Nigeria. So today, for the focus of this very conversation, I'll be starting with the very first um, factor to consider being the purpose. So before you buy any property at all, you should know the reason why are you buying that particular property. You should have a purpose in mind because this definitely will guide you towards buying the right property. So are you buying for investments? Are you buying a commercial property or you are buying for residential property? If you are buying for residential, what exactly is the purpose? Are you buying to hold? Are you investing so that you sell off when the property appreciates after a while? Or you want to even develop and generate rental income from such property. So, whatever the reason, this is very important that you take this into consideration because you do not want to go and buy a property in a highly commercial area and your intent for buying is to live there. You do not want to buy a property in a land committed for agricultural use and you intend to do business there. You do not want to buy a property that is for residential use and you want to do agricultural there. So you should know the purpose for which you are buying that property so that you discuss that with your consultants, your property consultants, so they are well guided about the kind of property to recommend to you. So having said this, we'll now move on to the second factor, which is location. Now, location is very, very key. Key in that you do not want to invest in locations that will never yield you any return on your investment. Whatever the reason you are buying property, whether you are buying to live in it or you are buying to sell off, you want a property that after a while, the money with which you bought that property would have appreciated. So you don't want to put 5 million naira buying a property, and after 2 years you realize the property is only worth 5.5 million naira. No, that's definitely not a good investment. But if you buy a property for 5 million naira and after a period of 5 years you realize you can actually sell that property for 25 million naira, then that's very worthwhile. And these are the kind of properties that a good realtor should be able to recommend to you. And at Venture Runner Realty, these are focus, bringing you properties with high return on your investments. So we make sure whatever property we recommend to you, be it for commercial, be it for residential, is the one that definitely appreciates with time. There will be developments. There are a lot of factors responsible for appreciation of a particular property. So that's why you shouldn't just venture into buying a property in just any location. So if there is no reason to take people to a particular location that would warrant that property appreciating after a period of time, then you should think twice before investing in such property, because of course you don't want to have your money tied down, especially if you are buying for investment purpose, be it to sell in the future, be it for rental values. Of course, before you can get premium rentage for a property, it should be in a very good location. So the kind of properties we recommend to you are usually strategically located. So you are very sure after a while, the price of the property definitely appreciate. As a matter of fact, we have a property in Awoyaya, the Milton Estate, that was launched just around late last year. We launched that estate for 18 million naira. It's currently selling for 21 million naira as at today, April, and there is already an increased notification for 23.5 million effective 19th of this month, being April. So effective next week, this very property would have gone up to 23.5 million naira. And this is a property that was launched barely 6 months ago at an introductory price of 18 point, 18 million naira, currently selling for 21 million naira. And just a couple of days from today, it's going to go up to 23.5 million naira. So you can imagine that within just 6 months, somebody who bought at the introductory price of 18 million naira would have already made well over 5 million naira within just a 6 month duration. Now, you wouldn't tell me that is not a good investment. That is a very worthwhile investment in Nigeria. To buy a property for 18 million naira and make 5 million naira on it within 6 months time frame, that's short-term return. So you can now 6 months very well is short-term investments. So you can now think about start punching your calculator to get the long-term returns on such properties that appreciate by well over 30% within a 6 months duration. So these are the kind of properties that we at Venturana Realty proudly recommend to you. So basically, That's about the location, strategic. The location has to be strategic before it can be recommended by venture owner. So the third thing that I would be talking to you about is budget. Of course, everybody desire to own a property. We all want to own a home of our own, no matter the level of our income. We just want a place we can call our own. This is my own property, and you call your family and friends for housewarming and all. Yes, it's the desire of people I know, their desire to own their own dreams. Yes, they could be location you would like. So how about step up your budget? You have venture less but in Banana Island and not buying. That means you've seen until you save up to the lump sum. We encourage that. You have policies that continue to affect your money in the range of plan, and you have a steady flow of income, you should be able to buy. But in a situation you now say until you save, okay, you are maybe you are earning so much that you can part away with 500,000 in your reserve for real estate investment, and your goal is to save up to 50 million naira to buy that four-bedroom semi-detached duplex. Now, give or take, that could take. I have properties that just within COVID lockdown we sold for 30 million naira or less that are currently selling for 50 something million naira as I make this video. Yes, that's how good some of the properties we market are. So in that situation, you cannot say you are saving up to buy a property. What we advise is, provided you have a steady income and you can afford the initial deposits and your income can accommodate the total value of the property you want to buy within the given installment durations that we have. We would usually have 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, and even up to 36 months, depending on the developer, right? So if you are able to calculate, okay, 6 months may be a little bit too chopped up for me, so I could consider 1 year. 1 year, okay, 10 million naira. I can put away 500K for my salary for a duration of 12 months, and I should be able to get a sea of full property, even if it's half plot of 300 square meters. Mind you, with half plot, you can do a whole lot. So you are not going to wait until you have up all the lump sum before you venture into buying properties. So having said this, the last thing I'll be talking about is the title. Yes, I reserve this for the last because it's really very important. The title is actually one factor that cuts across every other factor. So, should you see a property that um, checks good for every other factor, it's strategically located, it's within your budget, it suits the purpose for which you want it for, it's everything, and the title is not perfect, I don't recommend you buy such properties because it's a 50-50 thing, like you are gambling. And when you gamble, you are never uncertain about the results, the end results of your action. So you cannot gamble with your hand earned money. And real estate monies are not chicken change. These are monies you would have saved up for a period of time. Yes, because definitely if I am here, what is tasteful to me for a house might not be what is tasteful to a student, right? My dreams today are a little bit shifted from my dreams when I was a student. So somebody who is probably higher than me financially, their expectation for a home will definitely, the standards they are looking up to for a home will definitely be higher than my own standards. Likewise, my standard is higher than some people's standard, and it goes on like that. So, what exactly is the point I am driving at with this? That when it comes to titling, the title of a property, it does not matter how attractive that property is. If it does not meet, it does not matter if it has checked or met every other requirement that you desire in a property. If it does not have a valid title, then it is not a good property to buy. You should stay away. Once you've done your due diligence and the title is not excised, then stay away, because you don't want to risk putting your money into something that you are not sure of getting. So I would always recommend you go for titled properties from Excision, Gazette, CFO, Governor's Consent. These are fantastic titles you can look out for. Mostly if you are buying a house, I would always recommend CFO or governor's consent, because it's a lot more expensive. So you don't want to risk putting all of your savings, all of your hard earned money into a property that you are not sure will get to you. So basically, you should make sure whatever property you want to buy has a valid title. Otherwise, move on to the next property. There are too many